So why do we have these problems? Where the anxiety comes from? And what's the root of it? Because anxiety leads to problems at work, in your family. Then it goes further, and you're gonna have muscle tensions. You're gonna have chronic pain. You're gonna have then is going to destroy all your health and your body, and it's very serious issue. So what's the root of all these problems? Because I don't see that many psychologists or psychiatrists talking about that, and I believe it's fears. It's fear, and they don't talk about that because sometimes you come to psychologist and you can see fear in his eyes more than its patient has, more than its person that is trying to help. And so how to deal with that? I have a lot of videos about fears, but how this video will be for women, by the way, and I'm gonna create different video for men. And one of the things is that fears, it's I talked a lot about that if you don't have the knowledge, that certain knowledge, experience, and information, you're going to be kind of inconfident in certain situations. So you need some knowledge to overcome those issues. And for example, if a woman, let's take a scenario, for example, how to deal with certain situations. And let's place some situations here. Let's say she parked her car in the parking lot, garage, and she goes home, and suddenly, before she reaches the exit door, there is 2-3 feet left toward exit, and there is a man comes out, and there is only one door for the entrance and exit. So first thing, and let's say this man has a mask on it, Joker, and one hand he has an axe, and another hand he has a rope. And there is probably a lot of scenarios like this you can see in movies. And the woman, first thing, she starts to scream, run. That's what triggers the adrenaline in that person. That's how she triggers that emotion that he wants now to chase her. So first thing, she has to calm down and suppress this first emotion that she wants to respond with, run or scream. And how to do that? People are really nowadays disconnected from the nature, and animals on the other hand, they kind of perfect. They live in nature, they have no issues. So person that disconnected with this gadget, with their phones and TVs, we don't even know how to respond to certain situations, how to deal with our emotions. Let's say you get offended, or let's say you have this emotion of suddenly of fear or any other emotion that you want to kind of suppress and avoid, but you cannot really avoid it. But how you deal with that? Because it's gonna stuck in your stomach, it's gonna start eating you, and in certain situation it could lead to really bad stuff. Now when you see a wolf, when he reacts to the let's say, to aggression, its wool, its fur, its fur kind of comes up. So he reacts with all his body. He can feel all the body, and that's how animals are reacting to certain situations and emotions, that you have to react with all your body. So it's gonna take some time. I'm gonna start teaching that, but meantime you should start kind of think about your left foot, right foot, your legs, then you feel your hands, then you feel your stomach, then back, and emotion, they start to kind of dissolve in the body, because place when you, for example, if you have toothache and you start thinking about that, you're gonna have more toothache, you're gonna have more pain, because things what you think about the most, that's where you lead your energy. So when you think about parts of your body, if you can do it kind of naturally, fast, your energy kind of distributes with all the body and kind of dissolves this emotion of sudden offense or anger or something, and the fear. So you do that first. Then as a woman, you slowly approaches this man and kind of touch his hand and maybe come very close, small kind of light hug, start to pat his head, kind of bring that feminine energy. And the person behind this mask, it's actually Anno Vector child with his offenses and insecurities and fears. This is Anno Vector. That's the only Vector who can become a serial killer and all that, because they everything in their life, I have a lot of videos about Anno Vector, they kind of accumulate in the energy, offense, knowledge, information. They want to become doctors, teachers, so they all their life they'll accumulate energy. So the same thing happened with the fans when he got offended, childhood and parents and all the other issues. And one day he can break through the dam that it can lead to really bad things. You can say dam burst. So it's really kind of serious that you need to know how to deal with those situations. So now you become a psychologist. Now you start talk to this person. What is your name? And random questions. Would you like me to take you home? But obviously not gonna go. I'm gonna kind of play each scenarios in different videos deeper, so you can have more idea how to deal with certain situations. Now, let's say second scenario. A girl, she kind of went to forest to pick some mushrooms and berries, and she got lost there. She got lost, she kind of gets out of the forest, and suddenly she sees a pack of wolves approaching her from all the sides, and those wolves are really in bad mood right now, because they tried to hunt down a deer and it ran away. So they kind of approaching her. So first thing she has to do is pick a leader of the pack. Usually leader, by the way, it's not just wolves, even with people is the same. But she picks the leader with pack of wolves. Probably is going to be one of the first wolves with tail up, because he gives its command to the pack with tail left. The pack goes, splits to the left, tail right, they go to the right. So she approaches that wolf very slowly, and if she doesn't have too much those emotions, she can easily calm him down, pet him, also hug him, and it's going to protect her from the pack, and then it's going to take pack away. So let's play another scenario. Let's say there is if she goes, one of the biggest fears, especially blonde women, one of the biggest fears is to be strangled, because blondes is because she is noticeable more than other women. You can notice her faster. And another thing, it's usually it's visual vector girls, that they have a lot of these fears to be strangled, because in ancient times they were strangled by olfactory male. Now it happened because olfactory man, it's the one who balances the tribe with the, obviously for survival, but what he's doing, for example, we're going to hunt, and we take one of those visual women with us, because it was not too many visual boys. We used to get rid of them because it was not hunter, it was not the warrior. But I'm gonna talk about that also a little deeper, about this vector, why they weak, what makes them weak. We'll talk in another video, so you understand what makes this vector weaker usually. Now, it's what happened is this visual vector girl, a woman, she has a lot of fears, and animals, let's say saber-tooth tigers walking around, and we're hidden in the bushes, we're trying to hunt them down, and they're starting to approach us because they can smell those pheromones of the fears. They can smell this energy, the adrenaline, all the wild animals, and that olfactory man is choking her, so we're not going to be eaten by wild animals. Or sometimes it's choking her because she comes to the village with all her fears, and female's energy, it's very powerful, inner energy, very strong, stronger than male. Man, it's outer energy, outside world, physical world. Female, it's inside. So if she has a lot of these fears, she comes to the village and everything around her starts to get sick or die. A cattle dies, gets sick, the children, not even her children, because usually she didn't have visual vector females, they usually didn't have their children, they used to adapt children of the tribe. So other children, they getting sick, the crop and all the wet that we picking, everything was picked and we were sowing and everything by our hands. It wasn't like nowadays, we do it different way. So everything had natural energy in it. All the everything we were cultivating. So her energy starts to make it bad. It gets rotten, and